You can't be in an association that hurts people, that maims people, that kills people, that deprives people their rights. And tomorrow you say, no, I'm just a member of that party. I'm not the one that did it. No, as far as you're a member of that political party, as far as you're a member of that group, association, or whatever it is, whatever happens from that group, you are part of it. That's what it is. Being a member of any group, any association, or any party, if whatsoever they are doing does not align to your personal, views, does not align to your conscience, leave the group and make it public so that the public will know that you are no longer a member of that group. And these are your reasons for leaving that group. If you don't like their judgment, stay in your country. You can't tell them how to govern their country. You can't tell them who comes into their country. They have right to choose who stays and who doesn't stay in their country. That's what it is. If Nigeria is working and things are working good, like other countries of the world, I don't think people will be going to seek for refugee in another different country. Hello, my people. Welcome to my channel. This is Andy Media TV. Well, a few days ago, I woke up and met this news, that was going around, the media and the social media space, where it was mentioned that a Canadian court, declared the People's Democratic Party and the APC a terrorist organization. So that tickled my fancy that I began to, dig deep to understand actually what happened and why they came to that conclusion. When I continued to dig down, I discovered that there was kind of a court case, going on between a Nigerian man called Douglas Egharevba and the Canadian Immigration Appeal Division. So I think his request for a refugee status was rejected. So he filed an appeal so that he can be able to see if the court can overturn the judgment rejecting his refugee status. So it happens that during the court sessions and reviews and all that, at the end of the day, the court came to a conclusion that the Douglas Egharevba is inadmissible in Canada. And what was their reason to come to that conclusion? They said that the man was a member of the People Democratic Party, which is PDP, and that since between 2000 to 2007, that the PDP have been involved in subversion of democratic process through the means of voter intimidation, snatching of ballot boxes, stuffing of ballot boxes, causing violence during an election, and so many other electoral violence. So based on that, they concluded that the Douglas Egharevba is inadmissible in Canada. So, but the guy was like, "What the hell? What are they even saying? Being a member of a party, how does it affect me as a person?" Because personally, I'm not a violent person. I've never been involved in any, political violence and all that. So why is the action of the party affecting me as a person? I want this refugee status. Can this guy, rethink of what they are doing? And they said to him that being a member of a party, an association, or a group means that you imbibe, you accepted, you concur, you agreed with what binds, that party or group or association. All right. You are not just a member. You believed, on the, mandate of the group. You believe on the manifesto of the party that you are part of. So if that party is known for kind of creating violence during an election, and you are still a member of that party during all those processes, it means you as well is part of the process and you accepted that violence is good. That's what it is. So the fact is very clear that being a member of any group, any association, or any party, if whatsoever they are doing does not align to your personal views, does not align to your conscience, leave the group and make it public so that the public will know that you are no longer a member of that group. And these are your reasons for leaving that group. So if Douglas Egharevba, after they have been, the party he belongs to, the PDP, have been involved in ballot box snatching and all those kind of electoral vices, that he resigned from that party, make it open that what he's seeing in that party does not align to his belief and his conscience, and that's why he's leaving the party. I think he would have gotten the refugee status. What I want to bring out is this video. It's not about what people are debating. Oh, how can Canada declare, PDP and APC a terrorist organization? Who gave them right? They are meddling in a country's internal affairs and stuff, this and all that and all that. That is not what I'm even looking at. Because the problem we as Nigerians have is that we leave the message and we focus on the messenger. It has been the character of average Nigerians. And that is why things are not changing. And that is why things happen and they continue to happen over and over again, because people are not learning lessons from what happened. So now let me drive you in another different direction from what is trending on social media, because people are attacking the Canadian government and Canada and say, oh, they should summon the ambassador. Oh, the ambassador need a lot to explain. Oh, this. The point is this. Let's look critically into these issues. If you look at the judgment of the court, they made mention of some certain things. All right. APC at that time has not been constituted. APC came on board, I think, between 2013 to 2015 was when they started talking about merger to bring up APC. And so APC was not even in the picture during the period the court has reviewed, 2000 to 2007, right? PDP held sway since 1999 in Nigerian democratic process. They are in charge. That's why they tell you they are the biggest political party, they are this, they are that, because they keep writing results. People's vote does not count. So all these things they are doing, the world is watching. They forgot that the world is a global village. So whatever you are doing in your home, in your country, the whole other world are seeing them, because there are a lot of platforms. There's the media, print media, there's social media, there's all sort of system through which information goes out to the public. Now, let's take it step by step. From the judgment of that court, they said something that PDP as a party is subverting democratic process. Is it true or false? That is the question you should ask yourself. And as far as I know, it is true within that period, because that's why they almost have all the states, the state governors. So I almost came from PDP at that time. They were holding 20-something states. So it's been the norm. So were they doing all those things? Yes, they steal ballot boxes, they break people's head, people die during an election, there are a lot of electoral violence. So what the court is saying, what did it really happen? The answer is yes, it happened during that period. So the point is, if Nigerian system cannot hold the people who are doing this accountable, at least Nigerians will celebrate that another court in another different country is holding a Nigerian, a member of that party, accountable. They should be happy about that. So one point is clear. You can't be in an association that hurts people, that maims people, that kills people, that deprives people their rights. And tomorrow you say, no, I'm just a member of that party. I'm not the one that did it. No, as far as you're a member of that political party, as far as you're a member of that group, association, or whatever it is, whatever happens from that group, you are part of it. That's what it is. The man in question, unfortunately for him, he was a victim of the association he belonged to. He was a victim of the political party that he belonged to. So Canadian government were watching. And they were scared, probably, that if they allow this kind of person into their country, by the time he established himself, become a citizen, he will begin to bring that mindset of Nigerian democratic process into Canada, to subvert democratic process in Canada. He may begin to form groups and alliances. Of course, because if you check, like the United States, you see people who are contesting different positions. Most of them are not, originally from America. They are just immigrants born citizens, right? A citizen born from an immigrant contesting for different elections. Okay, so Canada is trying to protect their country. They are trying to protect the future of their country. They don't want the kind of result they are seeing coming from Nigeria democratic process to enter into Canada, and that is the basis of their decision. And it is their country. They have right to decide what they want for their country. They have right to choose who enters their country or not. So if those people who are blabbing in Nigeria that, oh, the Canada has no power to do this, they are not judging Nigerians. They are only judging the person who brought appeal to the court. So whatever decision they made is between the court, Canadian government, immigration, and the man, Douglas Egharevba. That's all. So, but the fact is that as if this judgment stands, right, it means anybody coming as a PDP person going to Canada may have some problems. That's what it is. Especially if you are going to seek asylum, you are going to seek for refugee status or whatever, you may have problem because you are part of that group. And as far as your membership of that group is within the period they have reviewed, this judgment will stand against you because there's precedence. All right. So the lesson Nigerians should learn is that now you can see what happened in 2023 election. Let me pick Lagos, for example. You saw how MC Oluomo and his group were intimidating Igbos, intimidating and threatening Igbos, even in front of police, that they cannot vote in Lagos. It was everywhere. The video is still there on the internet. So you saw what happened there. This is exactly what Canadian court is talking about. The Canadian court, that's exactly what they are saying. You are depriving people their right to exercise their franchise by intimidating them, threatening to kill them. And we saw ballot boxes being snatched. We saw people being hit by chair. There's a woman, I've forgotten which state, her head was broken and blood, she was bleeding. She even went and, kind of stitched it a little and still came back to vote. She was a hero. The picture is everywhere there on social media. All right. So these are the things that if a normal human being can behave this way just because you want power, you maim people, you kill people. Do you know how many core members that have died during election days? Those core members, they use that ad hoc staff. Can you count how many? Why? Because somebody somewhere is highly irresponsible. He wants political power at all costs, and they must get it by destroying others to get it. So that is the problem. So our democratic system is in shambles, and Nigeria has court. And these elections go to court. Majority of the times, once the election result is declared, most of the candidates go to court. The court does not see all these things. Does the court, are they blind that they cannot see all this violence, all this stuffing of ballot boxes, snatching of ballot boxes, shooting people, killing people, hitting people, and destroying people? Are they not seeing them? Have they, for once, even read their judgment to sound a kind of note of warning on this kind of violence? Not to talk of passing judgment on them. It may not be part of the prayer of the people that came to court, but they have the prerogative right to speak, against this kind of case. Have they even for once held INEC accountable for manipulating results? Have they for once? No. What did they do? They shield INEC. And that's why INEC continue to do rubbish election on every election cycle, even off-season election cycles, because they have been protected by the court. Instead of court to subpoena them, till today, in 2023 election, what happened? The system glitched. What is the meaning of glitched? Till today, INEC has not explained what they mean by system being glitched. Till today, INEC still deny people the materials to even file their case in court, and no court holds them accountable. Rather, the court will be blaming the candidate who INEC has blatantly refused to give materials to come to court. They are the custodian of the materials because they are the election umpire. So if Nigerians cannot hold their people accountable, and another court elsewhere is holding people accountable, and they are still complaining, what do you people really want? That is the point. So it's unfortunate that Douglas was a victim of the party that he belongs to. He's just a victim. So, but today the lesson people should learn is when you are in any group, whether church group, whether school group, whether office group, work group, any group where you belong, and you people establish the goal and mandate of that group, and suddenly that group is deviating to something outside your mandate and group, you have every right to resign from that group and leave the group in peace. That is what Douglas would have done. He would have resigned from PDP. But obviously, he wasn't aware that all that the association he belonged to will catch up with him. So, if this is the case, then people from APC don't go to Canada, because this law will also catch up with you guys. The period they reviewed, APC was not established at that time. But now that you guys have been established, they saw what happened in 2023. They saw what INEC did in the presidential election. Because that same day, the National Assembly election took place, House of Reps and Senate. And their results were uploaded freely, easily, simply. But presidential own could not. They said only presidential was glitched because they separated the two servers. They kept Rep and Senate one server and presidential one server. They just shut down that of the presidential result. And that's it. So anything you want to upload will go nowhere. It will not leave your system. It's very simple. And they used big word, glitched. It doesn't make any sense. So when you look at that, you begin to understand that it is time for Nigerians to wake up. Begin to hold Nigerian political parties, Nigerian groups, whether it's a church, whether it's a mosque, whether it's your office, whether it's government, anywhere you belong to, begin to hold people accountable. Ensure that people do what is right. That is what the Canadian court message is all about. Subversion of democratic process. So when you subvert democratic process, the real outcome that would have come out will not come out. And that is why you see Nigerian political space, the worst is leading the best. So why will the worst be leading the best? Because electoral process is subverted. And that is what Canadian government, through their court, is saying. Are they lying? No, they are not lying. All these things happen before our nose. We see it happen on daily basis. Election is coming up in Anambra in November. You will see what will happen. It happened in the Edo a few months ago. You saw what happened. And we'll just say, oh, this is not the person that won, and that's it. They continue to do the same thing over and over again, and nobody holds them accountable. How long have we shouted for them to establish electoral offences tribunal so that they will try election offenders? I know the National Assembly is working on the bill as we speak, but they have to, make it happen. Review the electoral laws and put the right things in place. But they won't. The West, they don't think the way we think. All right? That is why, for example, now, if you come from a country where there is ISIS, they will screen you differently. And that is why when you carry your green passport and you are traveling out of the country, others will be passing. They will say, ask you to wait. Why? Because of the country you are coming from. You as a person, are you a fraudster? No, you are not. But because some people in your country are doing those kind of things, so they will now tighten their, security measures around everyone that comes from that country. You can see how they are tightening their visa policy. You see UAE, Dubai, right? You see US, you see UK. Are there not other countries, African countries? There are. Why are they tightening Nigerians' own? Why? That is the question you ask yourself. It's because one or two, three, four persons from this country, Nigeria, has gone there and did something terrible. And based on that, they begin to think that everyone from that country behaved that way. You won't blame them. It's their country and they want to secure it. It's their country and they have right to choose who come and who doesn't come, to choose who stay and who doesn't stay. So it's unfortunate that he's having this experience. It's a refugee status being turned down. PDP was in power for 16 years, 1999 to 2015. That was when PDP last had in power. And this is what Nigerians went through all through that period. They were in power. And now APC is in power. And you can see what APC is doing now. They are already putting card-carrying members of their party into INEC, which is against the law. Because to become INEC rec, INEC commissioners, and other positions in INEC. And it's against the law. No card-carrying member of a party should be, a member of INEC. So that because they're supposed to be neutral. They're supposed to be an unbiased umpire. So they are doing it already. Even the chairman, INEC chairman, is appointed by the president. And the president will sit in the same election. So will he write against his boss when he is presenting the result? That is the big question. It takes a man of integrity to do that. If it is this INEC chairman that ran the glitched 2023 election, 2024, he will go and borrow another bigger word from the dictionary to tell you what happened, why the server was not working. So all these things they are doing, politicians are doing, the world is watching. They are watching them. When you hear them say visa ban on people that did this and that, you think it was a joke. It wasn't a joke. They are taking record. There are international observers who observe elections. You heard what they say in the 2023 election. You heard it. So when the incumbent party now, the party in power today, APC, is telling you that 2027 is a walkover, 2027 that President Tinubu will return, this, that, they have planned their strategy on how to maneuver things. All right. By the end of the day, when they are done and they travel to Canada or anywhere, and they begin to judge them that their party subverted justice, subverted democratic process, they will search out. That is the problem. So Nigerians, there's no point crying for the bereaved. There's no point, crying when the milk is already spilled. The issue is that the Canadian court is tackling immigration issue. And when it comes to immigration matters, they take it very seriously. They will dig around you properly to be sure that you are the kind of person they want in their country. If you are in any association, it's not just about political party. If you are in a church group, office group, whatever group you belong to, and you can see that these people are doing something that is not within that group, what you people agree is not within your beliefs anymore, feel free to leave that group. That's what you need to do. Because tomorrow, you don't know what will come out from that group, and you will be likened as part of that group. So it is what it is. So that's what I'm seeing from what the Canadian court was saying. They are kind of educating us that any group you belong to, whatever that group does, you are part of it. Whether you are the one that did it as a person or not, you are part of it. And that's what it is. That's the truth. Many people don't understand. They will say, oh, after all, I've not contested any election before. Oh, I've not done anything before. I've not contested for any position. I've never stolen ballot box. But your party is stealing ballot box. What did you do? You said nothing. You did nothing. You didn't go and expose them. You did not leave the party. And today, they are giving judgment and say, because of what the group you belong to are doing, we cannot admit you in our country. And it becomes a problem. So, however, I've read and saw that in most cases, they focus on using the word subversion of democratic process, not necessarily terrorism. In as much as when you look at terrorism, what do? They use intimidation, they use fear, to subvert people to do their bidding. That's exactly what they do. So when you look at during elections, people are smashing ballot boxes, burning them, carrying them, stuffing it, hitting people with weapons, shooting people, and so on and so forth. What is it? It's intimidation. They intimidated many Igbos in Lagos in 2023 election for them not to vote. If you go to Rivers State, that's the same thing, and some other parts of the country. So it's not new, So Nigerians have come to accept it that that's where election should be. No, it's not. There is an election in America last year, that ushered in President Trump? How many people did you hear were killed, or how many boxes you hear were snatched? No. That's not the way election is done abroad. That is why they are worried that if Africa or Nigeria continue in this trajectory, that it's going to lead to full-blown war at the end of the day. What if PDP is trying to snatch box, APC is trying to snatch the same box, and there's violence? What do you think will happen? Innocent people will be caught in harm's way. So that is what I've seen from what they are saying. So Nigerians should wake up, begin to hold your leaders accountable. We are not. It's not supposed to be Canadian court that will be telling us how political parties subvert the democratic process. It should have been Nigerian courts that are supposed to be holding them accountable, holding those people snatching ballot boxes. But police will be watching them. They will be snatching it. Army will be there watching. They will be snatching it, and they will do nothing. So at the end, the court also does nothing, and it becomes a generational system. And that's what it is. And it's very unfortunate that that's how elections are run in Nigeria. 2027 is around the corner, but let's use Anambra November election, off-cycle election, as a test case, and we will see what will still happen there. Common primaries is war. I saw APC primaries in Lagos. It was like there's protests everywhere. Common to do primaries, not the main election, is chaotic. So what is the point? Because people are not coming to serve. People are coming to be served. They are coming to just steal the national patrimony. If you want to send people out of politics, just make it that every politician, whatever position you are, president to senate, to senator, to reps member, to governor, to house of reps, house of assembly member, to local government chairman and councillor, all of them, including commissioner, all appointee, we earn minimum wage. Let's see how many people will still contest election. They are contesting because of the money involved, the money they control, not because they want to serve and build the nation. Only very few are genuine to build the nation. But majority of them, they are coming there for money. So, and that's why they do it, do or die affair. They don't care. Whatever it takes, they do it to get in there so that they will enrich themselves. Go and check how many of them has built wealth before. Godfather picks somebody from nowhere, puts him there, and that's it. Speak English, problem. Give us figures, problem. So it's terrible. And people are busy shouting on Canada. So that's not what it is. I've read what they said, and what they said is true. There is subversion of democratic process in Nigeria. Since 1999, democracy came into play. It's been true. It's been happening till date, till today. It's been happening. So they are not lying. So if the guy in question was unfortunate to be in that party and they come up with that decision for him, well, I'm sorry about that for him. But it's a lesson to others to know that when you're in your party and they are snatching ballot boxes, they are planning how to rig election. Just like Amechi was saying that at every election, there must be plan B on what to do next if plan A is not working, So it's true. They plan how to rig election. So it's there. And you're a member of that party. Why not tell them, no, we can't rig this election. Let the vote count. If they refuse, resign from the party. Let's continue to watch and see. Will this be enough reason for Nigerian political parties to start waking up and start doing things in the right way? Let the people choose who leads them. It is the responsibility of the people to choose who will lead them. The other time, Ali Modu Sharif was on air and was talking how he made the current vice president commissioner 3 times and then governor. He said, I made him governor. It's not his duty to make him a governor. It is the people of Borno State that would have made him a governor. So this is the problem that we are facing. So can Nigerian political parties begin to wake up and start doing what is right so that tomorrow somebody who is a member of that party cannot be held accountable in another different country based on what his or her party has done in the past? Because the guy is just paying the price for what his party has done. So it doesn't matter who you are, whether you are not part of the violence, as far as you are part of the association, the decision will affect you. So that's what it is. So I'm going to leave it out there, and we'll watch and see, how the whole thing turns out to be. So the decision the court reached is not decision on Nigeria. It's a decision on the applicant who filed for an appeal. So the judgment is on him. That's what it is. So, but my fear is that any other person from that political party at that time may also be caught up in the same web. So nobody knows. But it is what it is. If you don't like their judgment, stay in your country. You can't tell them how to govern their country. You can't tell them who comes into their country. They have right to choose who stays and who doesn't stay in their country. That's what it is. If Nigeria is working and things are working good, like other countries of the world, I don't think people will be going to seek for refugee in another different country. But it is what it is. So Nigerians should wake up and face the nation. Fight these guys, hold them accountable so that things can change. Otherwise, we'll still be there shouting and shouting and shouting, and nobody will hear our voice. So, guys, my comment section is open for you. Whatever you think concerning this whole matter, please put it at the comment section and be civil in your comment. Okay? And then, if you are new to my channel, please kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel and put on the notification bell so that when my next new video drops, you'll be among those to be notified. So, I'm seeing you in my next video. Thank you for watching. I'm signing out. See ya.